Welcome back. Today we are going to do, I think, a pink and yellow sunset kind of thing. I don't know yet. We're going to see where it goes and see where it leads us. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm using Revolution's Micro Brow Pen in the color Brunette. Now, after making sure my eyebrows are arched correctly, I'm taking my Anastasia Brow Dip in the color Chocolate, and I'm going to go over it and line it up better. Now I'm going to be taking my ColourPop's No Filter Concealer in the color Dark 42, and I'm going to go underneath my eyebrows and line it up and clean it up. Now, before I clean up the top of the brows, I'm going to be putting on primer so it holds. And then once I got it in there all good and blended out, I'm going to be taking the Tarte Shape Tape Travel Size Mini in the color Deep, and I'm just going to line up my brows perfectly. For eyeshadow primer today, I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer, and I'm just gonna put a little bit on and then blend it out. Now, once that's all nicely blended out, I'm going to be using Kylie Jenner's birthday palette, Sipping Pretty. The first color we're using is Vanilla on Vanilla as the transition shade. Going back into the palette, we are using Moscow Mule. Okay, so now I'm taking Flora from Lime Crime Venus XL, and Okay, and I'm going to be applying it to the outer corner to the center of the crease. Now we're going to take the shade Pretty, and we're going to be taking it from the outer corner to the center of the lid on the lash line. Now we are going to dab that brush into Jungle Juice. And now we're just going to take it into the corner and just darken it a bit to give it some depth. Now in the Jaclyn Hill palette 350 Dream Colors, I'm going to be using Creamsicle and just going over the inner corner towards the brow. Now using Jeffree Star's Androgyny palette, I'm going to be taking Charm and just going underneath it. And I'm just making sure it is blended all the way through nicely. Okay, now I'm going to be taking Morphe's 35M Boss Mood palette and using the color Fired Up and going into the inner corner and blending outwards. And then going back into that same palette, we are taking the color Bright Eyes and just putting it into the corner and then blending outwards. Now we are going to dab on the list and just put it on the center part of the lid. Now going into Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, I'm going to be using the color Primavera and just lightly going into my brow bone with it. Now using Essence's 2-in-1 eyeliner, we're just going to line our lids. Now using my Duo eyelash glue, I'm taking Ioni's Natural 4 lashes and I'm just going to apply them. Now I'm just going to prime the rest of my face. Now I'm going to take ColourPop's concealer again and put it where I want the light to shine lighter. And then that's color 42. Now I'm going to be using Tarte Shape Tape to go over the edges. And then I will be switching to Wet n Wild's concealer. Now taking ColourPop's concealer in the color 52, I'm just going to go over my cheekbones. And then I'll be using 54 as the contour. Now taking the Beauty Blender, I'm just going to blend it out. Now I'm going to be taking my Real Technique sponge for the powder. And I'm going to be using Tarte's translucent powder. Now taking a Luxie brush, I'm going to be using Beauty Benefits Press Powder as the bronzer. Now, once all the powder is brushed off, we are taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora palette. Now I'm just going to go over everything and make sure it looks natural and that the hairline looks good since it was all wrapped up. Setting. Okay, and for a mascara, I'm using Clinique High Impact Mascara in number black. And last but not least, we are using Benefit Gimme Brow in the number 5 just to blend the front better. There we go, the finished and completed look. If you like how I did it, just go back and watch previous videos and stay in tune for future videos. Thanks. Bye.